So these are multicolored light strips, and there's 2 spools, and these just simply plug into here like so. I always apply them unplugged, and the remote comes with a battery. There's the battery. So let's start applying some of this. Quick tips on making this a lot easier for you. Always make sure your battery is in correctly, because it might come in backwards. So if it's not starting, see if the battery's in backwards. Number 2, keep some tape. Number 3, always clean your area with a wet towel and then dry it. So make sure if you're going to go up the wall, clean the wall. If you're going to go up the ceiling, clean everything. Take your time, lay everything out. I do everything unplugged, but I just plugged it in, that way I can show you the color. Also, when you first take this off, okay, the first piece that you take off, be really careful. Take your time. Don't be in a rush, because you can actually pull the light strip part completely off, especially in the beginning. And you can do it down the line too. If you start getting to where like half of it's coming off and half of it isn't, and then you keep going and then you don't notice it until you have a big mess down here, and then you come back and you try to start fixing it. As you're trying to put it, it could be a big, it could be a nightmare. So you just take your time. Also, see how I've kind of let it kind of spin around right there? I did that on purpose. I usually, if it's a small spool like that, I take the whole thing out, and then I lay it out how I'm going to go. So this, I'm going to go up the ceiling, so I can't lay it out up the ceiling. But I will, before I apply all this, I'm going to take all this off the spool. If you're going to leave it on the spool, which I do too, but if it's small like that, I will just take it all out. Make sure that you don't get that, it'll start corkscrewing, and then if, just go ahead and unroll some ahead of you. That way you're not trying to apply it as you're right on the thing spinning around, because that's where the tape comes in. So as you're going, let's say I put a piece of tape right here, I tape that. Now as I'm going around or going up, however I'm going to go, that's just more, it's just going to, it'll fasten that there. That way it doesn't start pulling off behind me if I'm dealing with all that. So those are some tips that'll really help you out a lot if you're somebody who's never ever applied these, which a lot of people are. And I want to help make this as easy as possible. If you have someone to help you, it'll make it way easier. But if you got to do it by yourself, take your time. Don't be afraid to put a lot of tape either. That's fine. I just leave the tape. It's just extra. You can't see it. So I put tape probably every few feet. It just makes me feel better. And I'm pretty good at putting these on too. So, but the first handful of times I did these, I had that issue where it's spinning around, and then it starts coming off, and that's why I started putting the tape. So I hope this helps, and I hope you have yourself a wonderful day.